So we're going a bit back in time to go forward in time. If you have a look at the picture on the right, that may be similar. Apart from the terrible taste in glasses, that's actually my dad. And the reason I tell this story, phoned me on the train on the way here actually, bless him. The reason I tell this story is because we're a low-code automation platform and we want to show how you can use your existing technology to bridge to the need of the digital generation. So that's, my dad's classic baby boomer. He's come from a generation where wealth just grew with them. He's not digital demanding, he's digitally savvy, but it's not an absolute imperative for him. For me, I'm the first generation of the millennials, Gen Z comes next. There's a total of 5.5 trillion inheritance coming to 28 million of us. Now we demand that platform first experience. We're not looking for filling in forms. We want, real time, sort of immediate results. We buy off Amazon. We're not really here to hang around and wait for 3 weeks for something to occur. So I tell this story a bit more through my life. Probably one of the best days in the 80s for my brother and I was the arrival of the dishwasher. This is a classic case study for automation. None of us lost our jobs. We both still had them, but we got rid of the mundane and monotonous. So to me, that's probably one of the best kind of consumer uses of automation, which is part of the platform. 2014, along came Alexa. Individually, as a sort of narrow use case, it's an example of AI. It's not that useful if you don't plug it in. If you can say, turn on the dishwasher, close the curtains, turn off the lights, because you've got a connected ecosystem, great, I'm all in. At the moment, mine's sat in my son's bedroom, literally controlling Spotify badly. So if you're going to embrace AI, you do need the rest of the foundations to be able to do so. Now, continuing with the dishwasher analogy, hang on, press forward. Continuing with the dishwasher analogy, this industry desperately needs dishwashers for many tasks. There's a massive risk in relation to consumer duty. If your processes aren't systemized, how do you defend against a claim? If there's no data to back up your evidence that you've behaved on behalf of the investor, you're not in a position to do so. So this is a great example. I think someone touched on model portfolios previously, the SDR rule within partners. At the moment, there's 1.8 million model portfolios in the UK based on the Dear CEO letter from the FCA. About 70% of those are on platforms, and firms rebalance those, manual data input, master's grads sit there doing data entry. And because of the sheer volume that needs to happen across 20 odd platforms in some cases, it's done over a course of days. So this is a bit like running a wine bowl without a dishwasher. I'm waiting in the queue to buy my wine, someone else's glass is being washed. Now, the other thing the Dear CEO letter pushed was fair value. Those wine prices or those fund prices are changing constantly. So I'm not going to get the same strike as the person that came before me, which highlights that this is, clearly an area of risk for most firms. And this is something that we brought to market with the combination of automation, low code. You can sort of build that digital dishwasher. You can use process automation to have all of those updates happen concurrently overnight. You can step away from the 4i checks that people have to do by logging in again per model, per platform, have a single modern app to look at the changes. And you're in a position where you can track that consumer duty risk. If you can do it all at once, you're also in a great position to be able to scale your business, more models. It's a growing market. In terms of how do we do that in TOCA, you've got the automation capability, the dishwasher, you've got your connected light bulbs, curtains, etc. with your integrations. You've got the ability to normalize your data to look at sort of enterprise AI view, not the narrow use case, to optimize the whole business. Most importantly, you can bring the human into the loop. So 40% of investors soon that inherit all these trillions are going to be the digital native. They want to be able to interact with their services in a digital manner, and that's what we ultimately need to be ready for. Now, in terms of why, most of this technology is defunct now, at least in my my lifetime, 81 to now. If you look at most of that, I can do it all with my phone. If you look at the example of wealth management, it's probably the local video store in most instances. Now there's 39 PE-backed consolidators at last count building blockbusters. That was a business that I think took 8.4 billion in venture backing. Netflix came along, offered to sell to Blockbusters for 50 million, got laughed out the room. 4 years later, the whole business was defunct. So there's no point in building Blockbusters if the platform generation is looking for Netflix. That's the sort of experience I want. That's an app built on Tocker. That was a byproduct of portfolio rebalancing. We had the strike prices, we knew the data, we knew the exact performance of those funds to be able to build that modern digital experience on top, but bridging from the old technology to the modern experience. Thank you.